Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chell and this is Chella Reads a Bit. So sorry if, again, I'm in a different setting. It's more of a casual April wrap-up in a teensy-weensy May sad girl TBR. Like I said before in a different video, if you haven't seen it, my usual setup is currently non-existent. It is being packed away. Probably this will be my last video until the second week of May, because of things going on. It's just gonna be too hectic, so there probably won't be a video until probably like Wednesday in the second week of May or Saturday in the second week of May. Sorry about that, but things are just going on, so it's gonna be a little hard. So we are on my bed right now, so sorry if it's so too casual or whatever, but you know, this is just what's going on. I figured this was a cute setup, you know. But anyways, so today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up, which is pretty much just my Magical Readathon wrap-up, and a teensy-weensy, pretty much non-existent May sad girl TBR. So let's just get right into the Magical Readathon April wrap-up. So I did complete all of my subjects for my career. For the spring equinox, my career that I chose is Master of Elements, so I did complete all those. I will go in the order in which I finished the books. The first one that I completed was for Elemental Studies, which was read a book under 100 pages, and for that I read The Little Prince, which was a really short book about... I'm not going to go into what it's about because I can't even pinpoint the synopsis. I went into it without really knowing, so yeah. Sorry about that, I just don't remember exactly. It was a lot. So I read The Little Prince first. I did give it 3 stars. It was fine. It was very confusing at times. I felt like a fever dream as I was reading it. I was really, maybe I was just too stupid for all the metaphors, similes, all the things that he put into that book. But it was fine. Like, it was a bit morbid at the end, though. And it's a children's book, but it was fine. I gave it 3 stars, and I did complete Elemental Studies, read a book under 100 pages. After that, I wanted to go into my shape-shifting subject, which I initially had Ruin and Rising for, and that I ended up DNFing Ruin and Rising by Bardugo. I just couldn't do it. I didn't like the first 2 books. I did not like the first one, Shadow and Bone. I hated Siege and Storm so much. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give the last book a try. I had the box set, so I wanted to see. And so Shapeshifting was read a book with a creature with claws on the cover, because it was for formation claws. And so I was like, okay, there's a bird on the cover. They have technically claws. So I tried it, got 55 pages in, and hated my life the whole time. You would see in my week 1 or week 2 vlog that I just was not about it. So I think it was week 1. But other than that, I couldn't do it. So I DNF'd that and I switched it out. I switched it out for a different book, which I didn't end up reading until later. So I'll get to that when I get there, you know. After I DNF'd Ruin and Rising, I went on to a different one. So I ended up doing my subjects out of order after that point because I was like, okay, there's no point in going in order. So after that, I did Conjuration, which is Conjuring of Light, which was to read a book with a source of light on the cover. So I read an Enchantment of Ravens. I do not have the book, like a lot of these books out because I have them packed away. But I did complete an Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I actually enjoyed the book. It was I gave it 4 stars. A lot of people either liked it or disliked it because it's a standalone short novel. And I understand why people had problems with it and the problems that were in the book. But I actually enjoyed it. I didn't have any high expectations. So I actually enjoyed the book. And I thought the writing was pretty good. I thought that it was very lyrical at some points. And I dug it. I mean, there was insta-love. There was a lot of things happening really quick. Things that came out of left field that didn't make sense sometimes, but I did enjoy it. And Enchantment of Ravens is about a girl named Isabel. Her thing is she can paint, and then one day she paints a portrait of the Autumn Prince with emotion, and that is a no-no, and things go from there. that's just an easy synopsis that I could give you, but I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed some of the characters. I enjoyed just the story. The ending I didn't really care for, but other than that, 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. And then I did actually, at some point within the readathon, I did, from Saturday to Sunday, do a 24-hour readathon, seeing how many of the Princess Diaries books I could read in 24 hours. And I did end up reading 5 of them. I read Princess Diaries, A Royal Disaster, Princess Diaries, Princess in the Middle, Princess Diaries, Royal Obsession, and Princess Diaries, Prom Princess. So I did complete 5 of them out of the initial 10, and then there was like an 11th one that happens years later. But I did complete the first 5. Those were like a reread. I have read to the 7th one before, but I did not make it into the 7th one in the 24 hours. But I did complete those. Of course, they're all 4 stars. They're rereads. I enjoy it. It's about Mia, who finds out, she's 14, she finds out that her dad is the Prince of Genovia, and in turn, she is the princess because he is no longer able to produce any heirs. So it's just her navigating being a princess and everything like that. So I did complete that within that 5 of them within the 24 hours. I will leave that in the description if you want to watch it. I mean, I did complete those, so outside of the readathon, those were 5 that I completed. And of course, I always enjoy them. They're very easy to read, very fun, very comforting, just easy, simple, not as stressful books to read. So I did enjoy that. And after I read those 5 in that 24 hours, I did then finish Keeper of the Lost Cities Exile, which is the 2nd book in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. This was a reread because I'm trying to reread them all before the 9th one, Stellar Loon, comes out in November, which I'm so excited for. So I, of course, loved it. 4 stars every time. I just love this series. I will continue to say that. If you notice on my channel, I talk about Keeper of Lost Cities a lot. So yes, I loved it. Finished this after I read those initial 5 Princess Diaries books. If you don't know what Keeper of the Lost Cities is about, where have you been? But if you don't, it's about Sophie, who is 12 at the beginning of the book series, who is a telepath who lives, I've been saying San Francisco, but it's not San Francisco, it's San Diego, so bad on me. But she's from San Diego, she's a high school senior at 12, she can hear people's thoughts, and it's very hard on her. She gets headaches a lot, and so she's struggling. And then one day on a field trip, she runs across this boy named Fitz. He opens up this world that she didn't know existed and didn't know she was a part of, and it goes from there, and a lot of like intrigue, things happening, things that she didn't know about herself comes to light, and things that she has to struggle with. It's a really good series. I know some people don't like it, but I really enjoy it. It's a comforting read for me. I love this series. Sometimes Sophie and them can get a little annoying, but they are younger, because she is 12 in the books. So I love it. I love the characters. I mean, Fitz is kind of like a piece of Wonder Bread, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But I love the characters for the most part, and it's just amazing. So this was a reread, 4 out of 5. Still love it. And this one was for Restoration, which was read books featuring healers. Elwyn is a character who's in all of the books, who is a healer. He works at the healing center at the school. So hopefully that's not a spoiler, but he's very prevalent in the story, and he is definitely in this book. So I finished Restoration. After that, I completed Chi Sweet Home Part 1. It was an option that I had for Astronomy, which was a book on the top of my TBR list. And I had that alongside Incendiary, so I had the 2 options. If I didn't get to Incendiary or couldn't finish it, then I could read this. I knew once I started Incendiary, which I only got 22 pages in, which was my Fairy Loot book for the month, which I did not complete. I did start. This was the other option, so I just pretty much did this book. It was a reread. I love it. I love this series. It is by Konami Kanata. And it is just the cutest manga ever about this kitten named Chi who gets separated from her mom, and then this family takes her in, and it's their shenanigans from there, and Chi just navigating, learning what she is, who she is, and being with this family. It is so cute. I totally recommend it. This one was a reread, 5 stars each time. I totally recommend it. It's cute, light, fluffy, and it's just a good time. But this was for astronomy, top of my TBR list, and I did complete that. So technically after that, and I finished again, you know, and don't judge me, okay? I did finish Keeper Velocity's Exile again. Okay, hear me out. It is a comfort read. I needed comfort. I know I had just finished it, and not long before that, like maybe a few days. But I just didn't want to go straight into Everblaze, which is the 3rd book, and I just still wanted to be in this world. So yes, I did reread it for the 2nd time in the month. Don't judge me. So yeah, that did happen, but we're going to just let that go and act like it didn't exist, but it did happen. Don't judge me. Then after that, I did complete Chi Sweet Home Part 2. And this was actually the first time reading this, and I ended up doing for Shapeshifting Formation Claws, which was read a creature with claws on the cover, in place of Rune and Rising, because that ended up being a mess, and I hated it. So I did do Chi Sweet Home Part 2. This was the first time of me reading this one, and I loved it. It's so cute, so nice, so fluffy. I love Kitty Cats. She is so cute. Like, I totally recommend getting these books, especially if you just want something light, fun, and like a manga is really quick to read. The art is in full color. I totally recommend it. It is so cute. 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars. Not even a question. I totally recommend. And the last book I read in the month, which today, as of filming it, is only the 30th, but I know I'm not going to finish anything by the end of this month, and I finished my readathon book, so it is what it is. But I finished this. If you see my week 4 vlog, I finished it on Thursday, the last day I filmed for that vlog, and that was Kamisama Kiss Volume 1 by Julietta Suzuki. And I have watched the anime for this, and I've never read the manga, and I own all 25 volumes of the manga. So I figured, since the subject I needed to complete for this one was animal studies, we have the Pegasus, which was to read a quick read, and it's a manga, so it's pretty quick to get through. Figured this would be the best option, and I enjoyed it. I think it's like a 4 or 5 stars. I, of course, love the anime, so I already have like a bias towards it. But I think that the manga actually adds a few little elements that weren't in the anime. But again, it's only the first volume, so not a lot happens. It's pretty much just setting up who Nanami is and everything. And if you don't know, Kamisama Kiss is about Nanami, whose dad is a gambler, and he has a lot of debt. And then one day, it kind of catches up to him. He runs away, leaving a note for her, saying not to find him. And then their apartment is taken over. It's repossessed. All the stuff is taken, so she's left without anything and without a home. And she comes across this man who is scared of dogs, and she kind of helps him, and so he then gives her his shrine, and you find out immediately that he is the god of the shrine, and then he passes it on to her, and it's her navigating becoming this god of the shrine and everything that goes into that. And you meet Tomoe, who is a fox yokai, and it's just cute. It's so cute, and I enjoy it. I understand there's problems with manga and anime a lot of times, you know, fan servicing, blah, blah, blah. But I think that this is really cute, really, I recommend it. And 4 out of 5 stars, and I did complete it. So I did complete all of my subjects for the readathon, on top of reading all 5 of the Princess Diaries books for that 24-hour readathon, and also rereading Keeper Velocity's Exile for the 2nd time in the month. So, I think I did relatively fine, considering all the factors going on right now, how my mood has been, everything. So I did complete all my subjects. So I did complete the spring equinox with flying colors. I cannot wait for the fall equinox. So that is the April wrap-up done. Sorry if it's very all over the place, very rambly, very not coherent, because my brain is just, there's a lot going on in here right now. But let's just get into the teensy-weensy, pretty much non-existent May Sad Girl TBR. Very quick. Disclaimer, May is probably gonna be very hard, as with a lot of, for a long time probably after that, so just bear with me. So my reading's gonna be very up and down, very mood ready, so this is pretty tentative. This is like, if I can do it, if I can get myself, if I want to read it and everything like that, so it's not set in stone. So since I didn't read my fairy loot book for this month, April, I'm going to move it over to May. I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to get it done or I'm definitely going to read it. It just is something that I want to read. I don't have it out. It is put away right now. So Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova is one of the books that I want to try to read within May if I'm able to. So that's one of them. And of course I did already start it in April, you know. But I'm going to continue to read Everblaze by Shannon Messenger, the third book in the Keeper of Lost City series. I am already reading it, but you know, probably will end up rereading it again in May. Don't judge me. I get it. Don't judge me. You can't tell me anything that I don't already tell myself. So I am going to be reading this in May on top of also trying to read Incendiary. But I know this is a definite. Incendiary might not happen. Who knows? And then on top of that, I don't know if there's anything that I definitely want to get to in May. I might dabble here and there and maybe Chi and trying to read more of the Kamisama Kiss volumes that I have. But it's really, that's pretty much, those are the only two that I pretty much have on my TBR. Like I said, pretty non-existent, pretty sad girl times. So yeah, pretty much Everblaze and Incendiary are the two that I would like to try to get to. Everblaze, of course, is a definite, but Incendiary may or may not happen. But other than that, everything else is probably going to be a mood read and pretty up in the air. Probably a lot of manga and everything like that. So that's why I didn't want to make a separate TBR video, because there was not really anything for me to say. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that you guys were able to complete all your subjects if you participated in the Magical Readathon created by G from Book Roast, and or you just completed all the books that you wanted to in the month and had a good time, had good reads. I had some pretty decent reads, some DNFs, some that just didn't happen, but I did complete my subject, so that's good, and I've been able to, you know, spend time with my boyfriend at the same time, so that has been great. From May on might be a little hard, so just bear with me if my videos are a little up and down. Again, I might not have a video up until probably the second week of May after this one goes up, so just bear with me. There's stuff going on. But other than that, that is pretty much it. If you do enjoy these videos, please feel free to give a like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. It's always a good time. And so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good May, and I hope you had a great April, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.